So the next type of response strategy that will determine the structure of the questionnaire and will be imposed upon the respondent is called checklist. There is a thin line of difference between checklist and the traditional multiple choice question. Now, checklist is basically a multiple choice question where the interviewer is ready and willing to receive more than one response of a particular multiple choice question that he has asked to the respondent. But in case of traditional multiple choice question, the interviewer requests the respondent to take only one alternative, because if he takes more than one alternative, then it will complicate the analysis. But in case of checklist, the checklist is meant for securing more than one responses from the respondents. You can see here that this is basically a question which is of checklist type. Here, this is a question, as you can understand, that it is meant for a student of BBA who has taken admission, and there are different factors which could have influenced his choice. Now, there are three factors as it is mentioned here. Now, here the respondent will exercise a dichotomous response to each of the alternatives and will answer it in yes or no, or affirmative or negative. For example, for the first alternative, that is the professional nature of the course, the respondent will think, here the respondent would be a student of BBA. Now, the student of BBA will think whether the professional nature of the course has really influenced him to take admission in BBA. If he thinks that it has, then he will either put a tick or he will write yes corresponding to this option. So he has exercised a dichotomous response first of all to this alternative, and then he has answered yes or no. Now, for each of the alternative, this could have been done separately. For example, you could have asked three different questions to the respondent, asking whether professional nature has really influenced him to take admission, yes or no, like that. Dichotomous question could be applied to three different responses, but that would have been too time consuming and space consuming, and that is why you have put it in the same question. Okay. Now it is said that when the order of alternatives is not important, is not of much significant value, then checklist is the obvious choice. Checklist is the obvious choice when you do not want to know which factor is more influential and which factor is less influential. Whenever order becomes important, then there are another two types of multiple choice question. One is referred to as ranking method, one is referred to as rating method. এখানে দেখো ranking method এ দেওয়া আছে, মানে সেম কোয়েশ্চেনই বিবিএস স্টুডেন্টসকে জিজ্ঞেস করা হয়েছে, সেম অল্টারনেটিভসে, মানে এই অল্টারনেটিভস এর মধ্যে জিজ্ঞেস করা হয়েছে যে তোমরা এই তিনটে অল্টারনেটিভ যেটা আছে, মানে যে বিবিএস স্টুডেন্টকে জিজ্ঞেস করা হলো, ওকে বলা হলো যে এই তিনটে অল্টারনেটিভ যেটা আছে সেই অল্টারনেটিভসকে তুমি 1 2 3 র্যাঙ্ক করো, মানে যেটা হয়তো সব থেকে বেশি ইনফ্লুয়েন্সিয়াল সেটাকে তুমি 1 র্যাঙ্ক করো, তারপরে 2, তারপরে 3. So here basically you are able to secure an order according to the perception of the respondents from his response, which was not possible in case of checklist. ঠিক আছে? আচ্ছা, তারপর আসি রেটিং মেথডে। রেটিং মেথডে এটা আগের থেকে ভেবে নেওয়া হয়েছে যে ফ্যাক্টরস গুলির ইনফ্লুয়েন্স আছে, মানে এখানে এখানে যদি আমরা ভাবি তাহলে এই ফ্যাক্টরস গুলির ইনফ্লুয়েন্স আছে একটা স্টুডেন্টের বিবিএ তে অ্যাডমিশন নেওয়ার পেছনে। কিন্তু যখন আমরা এটা ভেবে নিয়েছি, আমরা এই জিনিসটা রেটিং মেথডে বের করতে চাই যে এটার ইনফ্লুয়েন্সটা কি খুব বেশি না খুব কম, তাহলে হোয়াট উই উইল ডু ইজ, সো সে ফর এক্সাম্পল ফর দিস পার্টিকুলার factor, that is professional nature of the course, we will ask that to what extent the professional nature of the course is influential, and the continuum will range from strongly influential to not influential at all. This is called rating. This is called rating questions by which you seek response. So this is how the response strategy is devised. The response strategy will be formulated. You can understand that the response strategy will determine the nature of the data you have been able to collect from the tool of questionnaire. Now, this nature of data is very important. Any fallacy in the collection of the data will ultimately give you misleading results. The analysis will also be erroneous. So you would try to secure precision in questionnaire. So depending upon the objectives, depending upon the situation, you will formulate the response strategy. The problem is that there is no hard and fast rule. So that basically will depend upon how efficient the question designer is. If the question designer is less competent or incompetent, then he will construct a questionnaire which will secure misleading or biased responses. So since there is no hard and fast rule, since there is only guidelines, there are no rules. So since there are no rules, so therefore it hinges largely, it depends largely on the efficiency, on the competence of the question designer to secure unbiased responses from the questions. Now the next is sequencing of the question. Now it is also very important. If you the sequencing of the question will relate one question to the next, ঠিক আছে? So it is often found that the sequencing of the questions has improved the rapport between the interviewer and the participant. That means the participant now feel that he is comfortable in answering. He finds the ambience to be conducive, ambience to be congenial. This is mainly because of the questions that have been sequenced in a particular order. It may also be because of the friendly nature of the interviewer, but we are not coming to this. We are mainly confining our discussion to only the questionnaire and the design of the questionnaire. So the structure of the or the sequencing of the questions in the questionnaire can improve the rapport or between the participant and the interviewer. It is said that the questions which will awaken the interest of the respondents and will motivate the respondents to participate should be kept in front, and put the classification questions at the end. Classification questions মানে ওর ইনকাম কত, ওর এজ কত, এগুলিকে আমরা ক্লাসিফিকেশন কোয়েশ্চেন্স বলি, ঠিক আছে? তো সেগুলিকে আমরা একদম শেষে রাখতে পারি আর কি। আর যেগুলি কোয়েশ্চেন্স which will awaken his interest should be kept at the beginning. Now it is said that there are some questions which can be ego threatening. Say for example, or the researcher may the respondents may hesitate to answer. মানে say for example there can be the question related to income. Now some of the respondents may have very low income which they do not want to reveal, they want to conceal their income. Now whenever you ask a ego threatening question, that may be important for your research, that may be consistent with your objective, but if you ask it at the beginning of the research, then the the respondent may terminate or may think of closing down the interview at that point only. So it is better that you put an ego threatening questions at the end, and those questions which are quite interesting to answer, where the respondents find it is easy, as well as it is not it does not reveal any secret of his by answering it, you will keep it in the front. Then it is said that the question will then evolve depending upon the complexity of the question as well. You will find that those simple questions are put in front, those questions which are a little bit complex are put in the end. Similarly, some general questions are put in front and some specific questions will be asked during the end of the interview. Again, it is said that sometimes you need to change the reference. That means you need to change the set of questions. Now, whenever you need to change the set of questions, use transitory statements. ট্রানজিটরি স্টেটমেন্ট মানে মনে করো একটা সেট অফ কোয়েশ্চেন্স এ চারটে পার্ট আছে, ঠিক আছে? প্রথম পার্টটা শেষ হলো, যখনই তুমি নেক্সট পার্টে যাবে তখন তুমি এটা বলে রেসপন্ডেন্টস কে যাও যে ওকে, উই হ্যাভ কমপ্লিটেড দ্য ফার্স্ট পার্ট অফ দ্য কোয়েশ্চেন, নাও লেট আস মুভ টু দ্য সেকেন্ড পার্ট. সো দিস ইজ কল্ড এ ট্রানজিটরি স্টেটমেন্ট where the respondents know that the first part is complete, now we are moving to the second part of the questionnaire. So otherwise what will happen, he will get confused. So whenever a reference is being changed, then the interviewer must inform, or the interviewer must convey this information to the respondents that we are now changing the reference of the question. So anyways, by this we have come to an end. Please study, see whether there is any confusion. I am there to help you out. If you find that there is any confusion, then you can call me. Complete the 4th unit as soon as possible. So as I have told you that let us wait and hope for the best. If the situation does not worsen, then we can have a class in the college. So anyways, ভালো থেকো তোমরা, আর যদি কোনো অসুবিধা হয় আমাকে কল করতে পারো। যেগুলি স্কেলিং টেকনিক্স, তারপর ডিফারেন্ট মেজারমেন্ট স্কেলস যেগুলি বলেছি, এগুলি ভালো মতো পড়ো কিন্তু, হ্যাঁ, এগুলি পড়লে হয়তো হঠাৎ চট করে বুঝবে না। তো গিভ ইউর সেলফ লিটল বিট অফ টাইম, give yourself give your intellect a time to receive it, become as receptive as possible to the concept, then learn. So otherwise, if you abruptly try to learn a concept, then it will not come in your grasp. এনিওয়েজ, তো যদি কোনো অসুবিধা হয় তাহলে আমাকে অবশ্যই কল করতে পারো, ঠিক আছে? গুড বাই।